Okay, everyone. This is Lindsay Dalton. For those of you who do not know me, I am with Dalton Insurance Brokerage, also affiliated with Ybor City Brokerage. And today I am going to be going over the plans I'm going to be selling for Open Enrollment 2020. I know most of you are familiar with the ACA products. So these are specialized in the private marketplace. This is how I make my living and what I do. So if you guys have any questions, I'm pretty sure I can see it. Just let me know. Or if you can't hear anything like that, and we will try to help you, or I will. Okay, so open 2020, new bundles and plans. Okay, so for 2020, for those of you who sold in 2019, there are a lot of changes in the marketplace. The ACA has expanded. There are new carriers in the state of Florida. There are higher commissions. And, you know, a lot of the issues when the ACA first came out, they are correcting those this year. So I'm very excited to see how it goes this season. Open enrollment. Also, the EDE system on Health Sherpa is going to make it very easy for you guys to contract. So there's state-specific guidelines, so make sure you are using the correct material. Every state has different rules. For short-term, ACA, so not every plan is the same. So make sure you pull up those brochures and tell someone exactly what it is offering in their state. I know for me, I sell in 42 states, so this is very important. Okay, so short-term plans. What is a short-term plan? Short-term plans used to be 3 months in duration. I always tell people now they go up to 3 years depending on your state guidelines. So short-term plans are really just plans on the private marketplace, and I wish they would change their name. Also, short-term plans used to just be catastrophic coverage, high deductible, and really did not cover anything else until you hit your deductible. This year, I am very excited to say they are covering doctor copays, prescription copays, and preventative care. So they're going to remind you more of the major medical plans that happened, before the Affordable Care Act. The deductibles are lower, and you just got to check them out because they're really good. Inclusions for pre-existing conditions after year 2 and 3. Short-term plans are medically underwritten or reverse underwritten. So there are 5 questions that are called knockout questions that someone has to qualify for. So you do not want to put people on these plans, if they have major health issues. So can you guys still hear me? It went out on my end. So, okay, I am going to assume you can. Yep, you can. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Mike. Okay, so the knockout questions still apply. Great news on the new NatGen plans, the copay plans, and the Trio Med, or not Trio Med, the Tri-Term plans, the United, they will cover pre-existing conditions year 2 and 3. So if in term 1 someone gets cancer, they will actually cover it 2 and 3. Now, of course, they still have to qualify for the plans with the knockout questions, but this gives a lot more flexibility, and it also opens the door for a lot more people you can write. And marketplace, obviously, more available. You can see on the right the plan highlights. This is just an example of NatGen, but these are some of the things that they will be covered in 2020. Okay, so carriers on the private marketplace. For short term, your go-tos are going to be National General and United Healthcare. These you can write about 90% of your people on. So I always go to these as my top 2. If someone needs something else as a third option, I go to HII, either Aspen or Advent. Some of you are probably familiar with LifeShield. not a big fan of Life Shield now that Aspen or Advent came up there, but in certain areas, or NatGen or United is not available, it does give you copays as well. And then for people with lower incomes, they make too much for an ACA, a subsidy, but they can't afford a NatGen or United. You're going to want to put them on Pivot or IHC, which is the new Anthem line. Okay, for guarantee issue. So these again are for people with pre-existing medical issues who are not sick enough for the ACA. So either, obviously if it's outside open enrollment, they do not have a special enrollment period, or they cannot afford it based on their income. That's when the guarantee issue plans will come in play. So this isn't for someone who was just diagnosed with cancer. It's for someone, who has hypothyroidism, has high blood pressure, little things like that. So this year we are going to be using one share instead of a LARA. One share is very similar for everyone who has sold a LARA. It is a medical sharing plan. These plans are very similar to open enrollment. So focus on the premium and the metal plans. Tatanka, if no other options. So Tatanka is actually a labor association. They did have a major medical outside open enrollment. They have just discontinued it, but they have plans with tier 3 formularies built around people with pre-existing conditions. They also have a pregnancy plan for people who are already pregnant. There are some restrictions. If anyone wants contracts with that, let me know. And very exciting, I just found this out about an hour before I put this together, but there are new major medical carriers outside open enrollment. They will have a few underwriting questions, but outside that, the commissions are very, very high. And come the 16th of December, it's going to be a perfect option and really give other people choices if, Cobra is their only option. Okay, and obviously ACA, Obamacare, now Trump Care, that's for people without money or who are very, very sick. You always want to put people in the right place. Okay, so just the types of health insurance. What you guys are familiar with, the Affordable Care Act. This is what President Obama made, healthcare for all. Now we know there are some limitations with this, but they're guarantee issued, they're through the government. Obviously, you have to have a life change or you have to apply during open enrollment. You also have to submit all the documents through the government. So a lot of people, if they have money, they're healthy, they don't want to deal with that. Okay, so that's when the private marketplace comes into place. So they are medically underwritten. Like I said, there's 5 questions. They're called knockout questions. If someone says yes to any of that, you cannot put them on there. You're the underwriter, so this is very important. So it's HIV, AIDS, weight limits, typically for a male it's 325, female 275. It doesn't matter on the height except for on tri-term. But otherwise for healthy people, like I said, they can be cheaper if you can get medically underwritten for them. And then medical sharing, that's one share, you're a LARA. Those are run through a religious organization. So you just have to let people know that, hey, I just wanted to let you know that this covers a few more things in the short-term plans. They are guarantee issue, but they are run through a religious organization. Are you fine with that? They don't care what you believe in as long as you agree to understand that they do. So if you want tips on how to sell those, I can definitely show you them. Okay, and then labor association plans. Select special needs, these are for your sicker people who don't have the ACA. Like I said, that's the Tatanka. It's going to be, we have 2 new carriers rolling out as well. And then group health insurance. Obviously, enough said, that's for a group. It's based on a group of people. They can be medically underwritten or guarantee issue. Okay, short-term plans, they're from 3 months to 3 years in length. Obviously, state guidelines, some states like Nevada, for instance, only allow you to have a 6-month plan, and then they require a gap in between. So you want to know that. States like Maryland only allow 3-month plan. So short-term medical is really not the best option there if they have anything else. So they're medically underwritten or reverse underwritten. Sorry, have not obviously checked this for spelling errors. And again, there's the 5 knockout questions, and then there's carrier-specific questions. So you always want to check with a specific carrier. Just because someone qualifies on one carrier does not mean they qualify on the other. So always pull up the specific carrier knockout questions. I keep files on my computer. Again, major carriers, Nat, Gen United, HII, Pivot, IHC. With short-term medical, unless it's the new plans with co-pays, I always pair it with a MEC or fixed indemnity plan. MEC is minimally essential coverage. This is going to give you your doctor co-pays, their wellness. It's also going to make it ACA compliant. So people really enjoy having that on there. It fills the gaps of some of the short-term plans with a higher deductible. Fixed indemnity plans give you a set dollar amount for specific services. So people enjoy those. They're actually the highest rated plans. I'm not the biggest advocate of them. I probably should know how to sell them more, but like I said, they do have customer satisfaction. And then again, you always want to bundle with dental, vision, life insurance, critical illness, accident, etc. You always want to make money. And this is including ACA. You always want to tack on as much stuff as possible, multiple carriers. Okay, medical sharing. Like I said, great for people with pre-existing conditions who do not qualify for the life change or for the ACA. Apologize if I'm repeating stuff. I was switching slides and kind of forgot the presentation I made several weeks ago. Medical sharing guarantee issue, so they will cover pre-existing conditions. Different plans have different limits, so you want to check that, but someone who has heart disease can get on these plans and they will still cover it. They will cover pregnancy on the Crown options, and this is for one share as well. These work like major medical, but client has to sign the religious organization, HMO, PPO, blah, 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 ACA compliant. Okay, so again, these are similar to major medical. They include doctor copays, all your wellness preventative, any tests or diagnostics done at primary care or urgent care will also be free of charge. So, this gives you a lot of stuff besides wellness that the ACA plans do not offer. Okay, so new. What is new for 2020? These are really changing all the time, but some of the products I am most excited about, the one on the left is the new NatGen. You can see the old NatGen, which is the enhanced PPO. Like I sold the 5,000 deductible, 100% co-insurance, 5,000 max out of pocket with $1 million coverage max. This is the one with unlimited $50 copays. Really didn't cover anything else until you hit your deductible, besides those $50 urgent care where the deductible is waived. So if you contrast that with the copay enhanced PPO, you can go down to a deductible as low as $2,000, as high as $8,000, either 25% coinsurance or zero. The great thing about this, unlimited copays for PCP, specialists, and urgent care. Again, at urgent care, that deductible is waived for you. They also have $10 copay on generics. And that's basically it. So instead of pairing it with the MEC, if you put them on the copay enhanced, if it's available, it will fill those gaps for you and give you everything the client will need. And then the one share, the classic Crown. I just got introduced to one share. I was an Alera person, but it is very, very similar. If anyone knows the Alera premium, it is almost identical. So the thing with this, you just have to make sure you do not use terms like insurance. So primary care visits, you get 5 a year, $20 fee. It's not a copay. You cannot use insurance terminology for medical sharing because it is not insurance. It is health coverage. Urgent care facility, you get 2 a year, 20. All x-rays, diagnostics are free of charge if ordered by PCP urgent care. You do need a referral to see a specialist, but it is a $70 fee, $300 ER fee, and your deductible is waived for any test or diagnostics. So if someone goes to the ER, like I unfortunately just did, had a brain MRI, that would actually be free of charge for you. And there's $1 million maximum. And here's the statement of beliefs they put on there. So yeah, kind of wrap your head around it and get how you are going to sell it. Okay, now my bundles. So this is what I'm going to, hold on, there's a question. Okay, so Mike, the $500,000 our maximum is per incident. So if someone has a heart attack, $500,000 is per instance. It has $1 million policy max, but you can increase that. There's an option if you want an additional 500,000 coverage. I believe it goes up to $1 million you can add. So if that is their concern, you can definitely add that for them. Okay. So good, better, best. Good is going to be the lower end. Best obviously is going to be the top, and better is going to be in between. So let's talk best. This is always what you want to start with. Now, that being said, everyone has their own style to sell, but this is how you're going to make the most money, and this is what you design for people who can't afford it, if that's what they're looking for. But always ask people if you qualify them correctly, they'll tell you. So this is the platinum package. So my platinum package is the copay enhanced PPO from NatGen, which has a $4,000 deductible. If it's not available, like in Florida, it is not, you can put them on TriTerm. The whole point is it gives them a catastrophic plan with copays. Most people are pretty happy with it. It's designed very similar to our major medical plan. You always want to pair it with Plan Enhancer or TrioMed. Now, this is going to pay their deductible in case of, depending on the one you choose, accident, cancer, heart attack, stroke, critical illness. So if people are worried about that high deductible, always tell them, well, do not worry. This is why I paired it with your deductible insurance. The TrioMed gives you a lump sum critical illness benefit and also gives you accident protection. United Healthcare has one called ProGuard that is guarantee issue, and also ProGap that are very similar to the NatGen plan, so check those out. For critical illness, now people love this. I go with accidental critical illness. If someone can afford this, it is the best critical illness on the market because it can actually be converted into a term life policy if needed. So if someone gets approved today, 5 years later, something happens and they cannot get approved for life insurance, they can convert that policy. And on the breakdown, it has everything, what the cost would be. So your clients are aware of that from day one. Now, this also I would pair with a United. I like the Premier Choice or Ameritas Dental Vision. Always put people on the more expensive plan unless they cannot afford it. With dental insurance, you really want that $2,000 max out of pocket. And then again, you're going to add your life insurance, your living benefits. And then for prescriptions, you're going to add PRAM, which is prescription drug coverage. Now, the great thing about PRAM, the formulary is not very large, but they do cover brand names. If someone also has a tier 4 medication that is not covered, they will actually honor the online drug coupons, pay $10 for a 3-month supply of a very expensive medication. So that's one of the good things about this. So if someone has a prescription medication that is expensive, you always want to do that. And again, if anyone needs contracting, just let me know. Okay, so better plan. So this is the middle of the road plan. So this is going to be, you're going to put NatGen, short-term medical, $5,000 deductible, 100% coinsurance. That's my go-to. Again, it can be substituted for the same plan with United. And then what you're going to put on there is the EBA MEC, which gives them the doctor copays, or Core Health, which is the fixed indemnity version. But again, it's going to fill those gaps. Again, you're going to pair it with the Plan Enhancer TrioMed for that deductible insurance, add on dental vision, and then critical illness if there's a little extra money. You can add pram as well if they have money for that. Typically, I save that for the best option though. And then good plan. This is your economy plan. This is United short-term medical. United, you can put down to 6 months and it will actually lower the cost. Down to a month, it will go down lower too. So if someone cannot afford a 3-year NatGen plan, this is what you will put them on. Again, always put the Plan Enhancer Triomed on. Dental vision, if they need, obviously if that needs to be cut, go ahead and do that. You always put the EBA mech and then the pram if they can afford it or if they need it. Okay, and now my least favorite slide, only sell if there is no other option. These are the plans you're going to sell if someone is too poor for your good, better, best. So do not sell these as a first line defense, only sell these if there is no other option. So this is for people without money, but who do not qualify for a subsidy. They can either be too poor for it, not have a special enrollment, anything. These carriers are going to be your IHC, which is now paired with Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. So that's a selling feature, or Pivot. Again, you're going to want to put it with a Plan Enhancer or Triomed. And people are sick, ACA. You know, I'm a private plan person, so I do not put people on the ACA for my first line. Obviously, do what you think is best. For people with pre-existing conditions, you do always put ACA first. And if ACA is not available, of course, the one chair Tatanka as well. Okay, so now how do I sell this stuff? So you gotta pick up the phone and call people. If you guys are using leads, you need to call people twice, send an email, and text everyone. I personally use a program called Mighty Text and text from my cell phone. You have to reach out to these people. You have to follow up. The chance of someone getting them on the first try is less. If it's a referral, you also want to do the same thing. Mention your referral partner. Hey, this is Lindsay with Dalton Insurance. I was referred to you from Carrie, and I have access to everything. When is a good time to go over your options? Don't ask them if they need insurance. They're going to tell you no. So it's very important. Make your scripts. Make sure you feel comfortable with that. Have a day 1, a day 2, a follow-up text, and then a last text. I am going to close your file. Step 2, you qualify. When you get someone on the phone, you need to qualify them correctly. I have put on here my qualifying sheets. Basically, it's just an info gathering. What is your name, date of birth, anyone else that can help? What is your old insurance? Now, this is the most important question. If someone tells you what their old insurance is, you know how much they were paying and what their needs are, what they liked about it, what they didn't like. This is going to give you a gauge on where to focus. Health issues, or they're on any medications daily, any major things, cancer, heart attack, stroke, and of course, income. If they are going to qualify for a subsidy, you need to know that. Do not waste your time trying to sell someone a private plan if they make $15,000 a year. You're going to want to direct them in that. So if you do not qualify them correctly, you cannot sell. So this is the most important thing. New agents need to just focus on qualifying. Go to your upline, they can close it for you if you need it. Step 3, make client files. Like I said, some people have qualifying sheets. I write everything down in a notebook that transcribes everything on OneNote. But you want to write down everything they tell you. If you're doing a quote for them later, you need to know exactly what you said. It's about to get very busy, and hopefully you do not remember every detail. So write it down. When they call you back, you're going to know the name of their dog, everything about them. They're going to be extremely impressed by you. Number 4, do your research and set a second appointment. There is nothing wrong with telling people Okay, great. Well, I have everything I need. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and do some research. I'm a broker, so I have access to everything. So unless there's anything else you want to tell me that you think I need to know, I'm going to go ahead, do my research. When is a good time to call you back? This will take me at least an hour. They're going to pick up. A lot of people don't do appointments. They say people don't pick up. If you tell them you're already going to do research for them, they will, because you're spending your time doing that. Don't be afraid to tell people you do not get paid hourly. You're not a call center agent. You're a broker. So you're going to give them the quality they need. People enjoy that. And then number 5, second appointment. Once you have your research, do the second appointment with people. I always screen share or email them 2 options, your top 2. I always have a third option available, but I do not send it to them. If they see 3 options, they get overwhelmed, want to print it out, talk to their spouse, anything. Do not do that. The screen sharing programs I use are Crankwheel or go.makogo.me. A lot of people like Join Me. I find there's a lag though. So when you're talking about page 5, people are still on page 3. Then they get lost again. Compare Health Sherpa with private. During open enrollment, you are always going to want to show them those Health Sherpa plans. Let them decide for themselves what you want. If you compare Health Sherpa plans to private plans, they can decide what fits for their family. Of course, always look up doctors as well. On the screen share, I always show my state license. I also show my insurance company, my brokerage license, and a family photo. This is to build credibility. Who are you as a person? People want to do business with people they like and trust. So you want to be that person. You're going to show them you are licensed, you are a professional. Family photo gives you an idea of who they are as a person. This is really important because it's about the relationships. That's how I am very successful at this. It's a relationship game. I always treat people like they are my family, and then they give me the same respect in return. If someone doesn't give me that respect, don't spend very much time as them as well. And then create your quote sheet or use Quote It. Quote sheet is going to compare the plans side by side. They're going to see you did their research. It's all in one place. You don't have to have multiple browsers. Or Quote It, for those who have access, it is an online quoting tool that will quote all your carriers in one place. So for new agents, it gets very overwhelming having multiple browsers open. This will do it for you. It will show the marketplace off the marketplace. And then most importantly, tell them what's going to happen next. Okay, great. So out of these plans, what one do you like? Ask them. You've really steered the entire conversation to this point to get them to choose the best plan, the NatGen. They can already tell you love it, right? So great. What's going to happen next? We're going to go ahead and fill out the online application. What is your email address? That's it. Don't ask for the close. If you ask people, oh, so do you want to sign up now? They're going to say, no, I want to think about it. So don't do that. Just tell them it is happening. If they have any issues, they'll let you know later. Can you talk about compliance? I have a web guy put the scare in me that emails, etc., need to follow HIPAA protocol to use encrypted emails. I do not use encrypted emails. People are not going to click on it if they have to do that. But I do not send email with super sensitive information. I mean, you don't want to spread personal health information. If someone calls you and it is on a phone call and they tell you about, their cancer 3 years ago and all their medications, that is fine. What you don't want is for that to be in text or in referrals you get. You need to say it due to HIPAA on the phone. So I don't email people back and forth about, qualifying them. If someone will not pick up the phone with me, I do not do that. Does that answer your question? And compliance is very towards company too. So you don't want to obviously put information out there without the company's consent. Again, state specific. Okay. Okay, so when I'm on the screen share who I am, nice picture of my family on the background of my computer. You do not want to show a picture of you out chugging beers with your friends, something wholesome. This picture is old, but I tell them I'm the girl on the left-hand side, so you can put a face to the name. This is at Christmas. Unfortunately, this picture is a few years old, but it's the last really good picture I have with my family. And they'll say, ah, and then ask about everyone else. Okay. Professional licenses, I show my state-specific license, and then I show my Dalton insurance license. I tell them I'm the owner. I own my own company. Again, stress the fact that I am 1099, and that's why they're going to get the best service. If I can find a way to close out of here, I will show you my background now. So this is a picture. Like I said, don't have a picture out there with you and your friends chugging beers. We are actually taking a Scotch toast in this, but I tell people my great uncle unfortunately passed away a few months ago because he did, and Scotch was his favorite drink. So we were doing a cheers in honor of that. I also say I could not drink it. I couldn't stand the smell, which is 100% true story. And then I tell them who people are if they ask. Okay, then customer profile. So I can send these out to everyone, but this has all their information. Look, you put this file together just for them. So John Doe, street address, everything. Social, I leave blank until I actually do the application. But this is your file for them. It has all their information on levothyroxine. Have them look it over and make sure everything is correct. They're going to be really impressed that you put this file together, especially for them. Next sheet, which is on the same Excel spreadsheet, I have my good, better, best. Now, what you cannot see on here, this actually moves to the side. So there's only 2 plans to compare. So unless they say, oh, you don't have anything else to show me, those are their 2 options. If so, I pull it out and say, oh, well, yes. So this is where you're going to put either the lower price options, or in case they're on more medications than you think, that's going to be your 3rd option for them. So otherwise, I just go through, compare it. Okay, so this plan has $25 PCP visits. Go down. Don't volunteer too much information. You're going to want to say deductible, max out of pocket. So max out of pocket, most someone is going to pay in a year. Humpty Dumpty fell off a wall, had a big fall. That is your max out of pocket. So that's the most important piece. If you're on a 5,000 NatGen, 100% coinsurance, 5,000 is the worst case scenario they're going to pay in a year. So it's important to say that coinsurance, the network, any dental vision, and it will have the price breakdown down here. I'm not sure why it's not on here, but the cost of the dental, the cost of the vision, and then the total cost up top without dental vision as well. And then go to the next one, compare it, and then ask them, okay, so Mr. Client, out of those 2 plans, what one do you like? If they say, well, I don't know, I don't really like either of them, why? If they cannot give you an answer to that, then they just do not know what they are looking for. If you do your job, you will barely get that. Someone does, do not waste your time on them. There are way more fish in the sea. Okay, so tips and tricks. These are just things I've obviously picked up since I have been doing this for an entire year and a half. Obviously not very long, but I feel like it's been way longer. So number 1, you want to do what's in your client's best interest and you'll succeed. If you always put your clients first, they're going to know that. It's going to come across. You're going to get referrals just for doing that. I worked at a captive agency before, wasn't a big fan of their products, and they could tell I didn't really get a lot of referrals. Since switching over and selling plans on the private marketplace and becoming a broker, I know that if I can't help someone, no one else can. And I always would not put someone on something unless I put my family on it. And I tell them that. Well, how do you know you can believe me? I'm being honest with you. If you can't tell that, you know, but there's other stuff I could show you. It's cheaper, but it's not going to give you what you want. Do you want that? If they say yes, okay, maybe show them that. But otherwise do not. If you listen, it will be easy. Listen to your clients. People love talking about themselves. But don't over listen. These people are not your friends. You don't want them to think they can tell you your entire life story. If someone sends you a 3-paragraph text about their divorce and the custody of their kids and the custody of their dogs. I mean, I legit had this happen yesterday. They are a nut job, block their number, move on. You are not their friend. If they do that one time, they're going to keep doing it for you. And you want long-term relationships with these people. It's not worth it. You're there for them. You're a broker, but you aren't there to be their therapist. So that's very important to do. Again, always compare health SHRPA plans to private, especially during open enrollment. Show them the differences and let them decide. If they want marketplace plan, show them that. If they want private plan, show them that. And that really does need to be up to them. Just point out the differences. If they don't understand, you're the expert, they will listen. Like I said, let people decide based on their needs. Be the authority figure. You have to be the one. You are so positive that this is right for their family and why you believe that. If you're like, oh, well, I don't know, or I think you should go with this, they aren't really going to listen to you. I had a gentleman a few months ago. He had a life change. All he wanted to look at was Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas. Now, the issue is he made $350,000 a year and did not have any health issues. And him and his son together would have had a $15,800 deductible. I told him, if I was you, I would not put my family on this. And he decided to sign up with the Health SHRPA link anyways. A month later, I get a message that he still doesn't have insurance. They're not accepting his documents, blah, blah, blah. What do I do? Now his doctor's deciding they don't take them. I'm like, I tried telling you I wouldn't sign up for this, and he did it anyways. Don't be afraid to not do business with people if they won't listen to you. Don't be afraid to fire clients. Again, someone like that, or someone who is a constant pain in your neck, I cannot work with you anymore. I've told you this, you don't listen, call the carrier if you need anything else. That is not your job. You want to be there, you want to support them, but don't let them run your life or you'll be chasing it around. Again, start with 2 carriers, expand from there. When you're first learning, do not learn every carrier. You don't need to. You just need to know details about a couple so you get comfortable, because you'll start selling as soon as you are comfortable with it yourself. Don't overthink it. Knowledge can be detrimental. As much as you want to know plan details, I can over-explain because I know so much on so different carriers. You don't want to do that. People do not know insurance. I don't care if they're a doctor or what they think. Just simplify it for them and they will appreciate it, and you'll get a lot more sales from that. Can you talk about family deductibles? You talked about your Texas guy. Or 5 and a Nat Gen 75 copay, max out of pocket 20. What? No. Okay. So family deductibles on private plans, unless they are specified, it is individual deductibles for the max of 3 people. So if you're on a Nat Gen $5,000 deductible, 100% coinsurance, it is $5,000 per person. If it's a family of 5, the most they'd have to pay in a year is $15,000. But the chance that something happens to 3 out of 5 family members is very, very low. So I'll actually show you on Health SHRPA what I'm talking about. So if one kid breaks their arm, $5,000 is their out of pocket. That's the worst case scenario. So if you go on Health SHRPA, the deductibles for 2 people even can get a family deductible. If it's $14,000 or $15,000, they're going to have to pay that if one kid breaks their arm, they're going to have to pay the $15,000 before they see benefits. So that's something really important to keep in mind. You know, I'd rather pay $5,000 for one person than $15,000 for one person. And the chance of something happening, the more people you have, obviously it's less. Okay. So I'm just putting in hypothetical information. Okay. I'm probably going to have to increase the income. Yeah. So unless they tell you your income too, I always put the default of like 250 so that, actually don't know why I just did that. So that you can see the full thing of it. Because remember, the deductible changes based on your income and the subsidy you get. Okay. So this one, deductible $8,150 per person. So again, deductible, that's $8,150 before they meet anything. Now deductible for your family, $16,300. So if there's two people on there, before they start paying benefits for anything besides preventative, maybe doctor copay, $16,300 is what they're going to have to pay. If a kid falls, breaks his arm, whatever. So on an individual plan, the $5,000 deductible may seem scary, but again, that's also why you put on there the deductible insurance, which is going to pay for that. Your Texas guy, but the family are 5, NatGen 5,000. Okay, so I don't sell NatGen 7,500, 20,000 deductible, copay. So I'm not sure what you're talking about with that. Plan enhancer, no, it can be used in a limited amount of times. There is no cap on that. Critical illness benefits can only be used twice. Okay, so car cash, family of 5, 5,000 each, 100%, and 5,000 plan enhancer. Plan enhancer will put 2 of them in the hospital, etc. No. So the plan enhancer, if they did not have plan enhancer on there, family of 5, worst case scenario, 5,000 times 3, 15,000. That's their stop loss for the year. If you put plan enhancer on there for accident, they will each pay $250, and that is it. Everything else will be covered for the insurance. And yeah, you will. I literally did this. Yeah, I'm positive. Positive. You're thinking critical illness. I unfortunately had someone, I'm pretty sure he got in a car accident on purpose the next day, but you know, don't want to say that about someone. I also fired him as a client, just FYI. Okay, so don't be afraid to ask for the close. Again, do not ask permission. If you ask people permission, oh, well, do you want me to go ahead and sign you up? They're going to say, no, I don't. Let me think about it. No, this is what's going to happen. I can't guarantee these prices. What's your routing and account? It works. That's why I have a very high close rate. And do not email or make quotes for anybody. I get it's a learning tool, practice on yourself, but do not send them to clients unless you have spoken to them. Not email back and forth, legit spoken to them on the phone. If they are asking and saying they are so busy, they cannot spend 2 minutes so you can qualify them, they're talking to other agents, and don't waste your time. You're going to make all these proposals, send quotes out. You're never going to hear from these people again. I promise you. If you talk to someone, fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with emailing something, a brochure. On my quote sheets, you can actually click on the actual product and the brochure will pop up and another page. So and I have no issues with that. I'm not hiding anything. I try to be as transparent as possible. But again, just talk to them first. And then lastly, make friends and have fun. I treat these people like they are my friends or family. What this job has given me that it never had before is the ability to talk to people. I never talked to people before. I was so scared the first time I picked up the phone. Then I started texting and emailing because that was easy to me. Now I talk to everyone in the grocery store lines. I talk to random people and I ask them all about their lives. When you get to know them in a brief amount of time, they have a connection to you. So relate on whatever level that is. If you both have medical issues, tell them that. If you both like cats, tell them that. There is nothing wrong with that, and you will be good. Okay, that is it. And then unless anyone has more specific questions, I'll follow up and just do a presentation, my selling style, between my presentation and go over the 2 plans I sell. So the NatGen, the TrioMed. For anyone who wants, we can schedule something from there. But yeah, open enrollment starts in 3 days. So let's all definitely kill it this year. If anyone wants outside contracts, let me know and I will get you signed up. Does anyone else have any questions for me? Yes, you will all, I will give them to Carrie. This is also being video recorded. So there will also, for anyone who could not be here, or if you want to re-listen to this, you'll be able just to play it over and over again. Because you'll learn, the more you hear things, the more you pick up, and everyone you can listen to, we all have different styles you'll pick up from them as well. Anyways, I hope everyone has a lovely Tuesday and good luck for open enrollment. Let's kill it.